everyone about their year end, right? So I hope everyone understands how you wrap up your year. And for 2022, the year, of course, went by so fast. And that's how our years are practically going now. So they're going fast. So you're going to need to make sure that you are on your toes, your P's and Q's, in order to make your business, your career, or whatever it is that's driving you to make it a success, right? So wrapping up the year, superstars. This is not only, like I say, for entrepreneurs, but anybody or any individual who is trying to make a mass improvement upon what they're doing. So when we think of January, we're thinking about a new year. So we talk about a new year, a new me, right? We all know what that is. The other thing is we talk about resolutions. We don't do as much resolutions as we've done in the past. We don't do those things anymore because they just really don't work. You are done with in the middle of January. You hadn't even, made it past January. So when I think of a new year, I be thinking about my new days. I treat my new day as my new year. Walking into your new day is what keeps you going and what keeps you motivated. When you think of that new day, when you wake up and, prayerfully you wake up the next morning, you're ready to tackle that next day because you want to make that next day better than the day before. That's how you start to make your business go into motions. I don't work off a year. I don't do that anymore. I work off my days. So I make sure my days are productive. And how do I do that? Well, I do that by inventory. There are a couple of things that you can do as far as inventory. You can do a checklist that the things that you've started on, the things that you're about to start on, and the things that you may want to start on. That's part of an inventory, but you've got to make sure that you keep those things all in line with how you're going to execute those, right? The other way is to, have a notepad, sticky notes, a notebook with you at all times on your person. You could be driving, have it in your vehicles. You can be driving and you can suddenly think of something in your head. And that's something that's giving you a nudge, like you're going to need this. You may not need it now, but you will need it along the line of, of what you're doing. So when I do that, I do pull over and I jot that down. But I also make a reference as to why that thought came to my head. And I may think, it could be January, and I say, well, I need this for my May event that I'm going to do. This would be perfect for May. Because by the time May gets there and you didn't write that thing down, you've forgotten about it. So we need to do more of remembering things, and we can't do it off our memory anymore. I can't, at least. I have to definitely write things down. I have written things everywhere, and I make sure when I'm ready to use that, it's for that occasion, okay? When you go to sleep and you wake up, you guys, that is the best. Those are your best ideas at night when it wakes you up. So anything that makes you uncomfortable a little bit, it's worth something. So when you get woken up out of your sleep, you're like, oh, why am I up, But write that idea or that thought down because you will need it. I have really gotten so many great ideas by waking up in the middle of the night. So by my nightstand, I have a couple of pads and I have several pens just in case one of those pens do not write, right? Because I don't want to miss out on that. When we are given those things for a reason, it's not just to wake us up. It is to wake us up, but it's not to just get us up. It's to make sure that we are in sync with how the process of what we're doing is going to work out, okay? So make sure you do that. The other thing that I have is a big wall calendar that I have in my office. Now, you can get those on Amazon. They're like 38 inches wide, I think. But it's a big monthly calendar. I use that like I use my right hand, right? So on that calendar, I put my month up there, my days, and then I just start jotting down in several different places what I intend to do. This is who I'm going to contact. This is who I need to see. This is who I need to check on. When you check on businesses or individuals, that gives them the idea, I do need something from you. I've done it before. I've checked on a customer. She said, you know what? I do need something. And there you go. So write those things down and execute on those. When you bring over your customers to that as well, you have a full calendar by that time. So use those calendars wisely. I put up superstars on the heading, and I put hashtag let's go, hashtag we gonna do this. You have to put that into, I speak stuff into existence. I just speak it, I write it, and then I execute on it. So you're going to have to make sure that you do your part in able to make sure that your year comes to being the best year that you can have, okay? So make sure that we jot down all those ideas. Make sure you have notepads, pens in your vehicle, beside your bed, at work, at church. The doctor's office. Don't forget the doctor's office. What are you doing at the doctor's? You're just waiting. You're sitting there waiting, right? When I'm sitting and waiting, I'm thinking. And so while I'm thinking, I'll be jotting things down. So don't take any place for granted. Make sure when you go get tires changed, whatever, write stuff down. Those things are coming to you, and it's for a good reason. And trust me, you will have so much to be thankful for of those thoughts when you get ready to use them at your next event, your next outing, when you go to the school, talking to the children. There are a lot of things that come to your head that you'll be able to use them for. And that's what I use my tools for. I don't want to be at the last minute trying to think of, so what am I going to talk about? I already have that, in my possession, right? Okay, so now let's talk about the end of the year again. What we need to do, first off, we need to focus on one. Meaning, focus on one thing that you think you can do before this year end is almost here. But here's the thing: you still have time to do some things. Let's see. Why not try to reconnect with someone? Why is there a disconnect with that person? Why is it? When we lose connections with people, you're losing valuable resources. Okay. I think sometimes when we see people elevate from where we think they should be, that's when we begin to feel sour against somebody. Please, when you do that, you are hurting yourself. Just because that person is elevated does not mean you're not going to elevate. All it means is that it's this person's season, and you will have your season. Hey, babe, I see you. And you will have your season, right? So when we do that and you start drifting away from that person, you are losing a resource that you may need later on down the line. I celebrate people. So I celebrate their success. I show up when they say, hey, can you be at this event? I try my best to be at that person's event. And that's what we're going to have to try to do in 2023. This is something that you need to write down on your board. Some people have vision boards. Make sure that you try to incorporate being more supportive of people in their events or whatever it is that they're putting on. Because here's the thing, I've been there. I have been there when I'm trying to figure out this grind and I had no other support to help me to do that, right? We're going to have to do so much better in 2023. Listen, our businesses, our minority businesses are so huge. There are so many entrepreneurs out here, and we need to do as much as we can to support them, right? I love it. I celebrate. When you celebrate, I'm celebrating right along with you because I've been there. I know how that is, and I know when you make it, how it feels. So I try to be out there to support people. So reconnect. You may want to reconnect. That could be one thing that you may want to do is reconnect with someone. And it's okay to say like, hey, I missed that last event. I'm sorry, my bad, but I'm going to do better. Hi, Miss Ella. How are you? Thank you for watching. And just let them know we're going to do better. And that's all it is. It's just owning up to it. When we own up to it, we can move past it and we can get on with our show, right? The other thing is, why not take the plunge? What I mean by that is that somebody is sitting around with a resume that they're feeling hesitant about sending, send that resume. Send it. Okay. Because here's the story. I held on to a resume. This is back when jobs was like moving like that. Anytime a position came up, in 2 days, it was gone, right? That was back then. Because work is a little lax right now. But I saw a position that I would love to have this position. This position required a bachelor's degree. Your girl does not have a bachelor's degree, right? And it required knowing about the union, about being a unionized facility. Didn't know that. But I still sent my resume along with the credentials that I had, okay? Got a call to come in for an interview. And I'm thinking, okay, they see what I had. They see I didn't have a bachelor's, nor do I have, any experience working in a union facility. So I go to this interview. I was shocked. I go to this interview. They loved me and I left with the job, right? So all it is, people can get a feel if this person is worthy enough for me to put some training into to get them to where I need them to be to run this company. I did that. One of the best money-making jobs I've had, while working in a business facility. So send that resume. We second guess ourselves, and we second guess ourselves in our business. We second guess ourselves in our brand. We second guess ourselves in what it is that we can do. Stop second guessing yourself because you are cutting yourself short, okay? So send that resume. The other thing is that book that you always wanted to write. Why haven't you written it? I've written mine, right? And I love my book, and a lot of more people love my book, and it did so much better than I thought it would do. So write your book. Stop doing things, when you don't get it going, you can't blame anybody but yourself because you're going to have to be the motivating factor first. You're going to have to do it and get it going, okay? So focus on one of those things you may need to do before the end of the year. You only have, time is ticking, right? So let's get it done. Okay, the other thing is things that you can control. The things that you can control are the things that's within your two hands, right? Anything else that you cannot control, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it because you can't control it. When you start worrying about things that is beyond your control, you're losing time and you're off your game. You're not being focused on the things that you need to be focused on because you're over here trying to figure out why you can't get this thing under your control. It's not within your control. So don't worry about it. Don't waste a lot of time on that. Okay. Take the fear out of the game. Fear is another thing that stops us from doing things. Fear is one of the biggest things that stops us from doing things. Thinking about what people may say about it if I do it, what people are thinking. Okay, guys, let's do this. Let's not worry about what people say. Okay. Look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself what it is that you're going to do and what you're going to accomplish. And then you just go for it. I do it all the time. I don't have to get anybody's permission. I don't have to look for somebody to pat me on the back. I just wait for it to happen. And then I high-five myself and keep it moving. Okay. What it is that I want to do is to make sure that I am happy with what I'm doing. I love what I do. I'm passionate about what I do. And I think I'm one of the number one people in the game that I'm in. I just see it because I stay moving. I don't let things, if an idea comes to me or something that I think I'm able to do, I execute it. And then I keep it moving. Okay. And then the next thing is people won't know about it until it's up, on Facebook or whatever. So don't dwell on that. And just like you guys, I'm evaluating my year as I do every year, some goals that I have achieved and others I have not. So I'm still a work in progress. You are still a work in progress. We are all still work in progress. And that's how it is. We can't get everything knocked out in a day or a week. I've been in the printing game for 20-ish something years, and I'm still enjoying it. I move with the changes, because changes are always coming about in whatever you do. So you're going to have to stay on top of that, and you have to stay passionate about what you do. I think passion is what drives me with what I do and how I do it so well. I love it. I can't wait to see what's the next design, or who I'm going to brand, or who do I help get to the next level. This is just what I do. I'm just born to do it. Okay. So just keep all of that in mind. Keep your goals in mind. Do keep your goals. And I do encourage you guys to get a vision board. The vision board works. I did a vision board at the beginning of this year, and I think I've completed everything, including a brand new home. My next home, I already got that, achieved it. It was on my vision board, executed it, got everything done, ready, and here I am. So vision board helps. There are some events that have in January that have where you go in, you make those vision boards. I do, encourage you to go to some of these events. This is where you go and you network, you meet people, you figure out what organization you want to be in, what group you want to be in. That's how you build onto your resources. These are your resources, and that's what helps you get to where you need to be at. Being connected with other people, being in different organizations. There are minority organizations. Listen, hit me in the comments. Tell me what you think. I will definitely answer those questions for you. But there are a lot of different organizations that you can participate in. But you just need to find your niche, okay? Because every organization is not for everybody. So whatever field that you're in, you need to make sure that you're in that arena, and that and you just filter out what it is where it is that you want to be at. Again, like I say, we do have minority organizations. I'm in a great one. Hit me in the comments. We can talk more about that. So, you want to be in a winning capacity. I'm here for it. I'm always about winning. So when you get into those organizations, there's no way you can lose, guys. I mean, because you're going to be surrounded by people who's going to help you in your field of what you're doing. You're going to have people that's supportive. Now, you do have your friends or your whoever you have that you hang with, but they may not be in that same mindset or that mind space that we are in. So you want to be in that group of people that that you can tap into some sources with. So there it is. So at the end of the year, you want to have an effective year-end business plan that you plan to execute for the upcoming year. So what's the process, you guys? Let me tell you what the process is. It's trust the process. Stay in the game, stay in your lane, because you can't look over here and see what this person is doing and how this person got here, or look over here. You're being distracted now. You are distracted. So don't do that, because you don't know what this person is going through to get to where they go, where they are. And you don't know the capacity of where they've been. So stay focused on what it is that you want to do and where you're going, and you'll win. That's what it is. So, and then, like I say, encourage people, congratulate people, go be supportive of others, volunteer. Volunteer is another way that you can move forward in your game. People have to know you. If you show up one time, they may remember that face, but people want to know who you are. And that's how people connect with you, because they've gotten to know you. And so you're going to have to get out there. We're going to have to hit the streets. That's what I did. I hit the streets hard. This girl was all over the place. And now, people say, Shirley, everybody knows you. I don't think everybody knows me, but I think there's enough people that know me that I can, if I needed something, I can reach out and say, hey, like my guy, Jeff Snyder, I can say, hey, Jeff, what about this thing? Or what about who owns this? Or, so you're going to need to know those kind of things, because people know people. So you're going to have to know people because people know people. And that's where you can, flourish and find out things and get to knowing, where things are. Okay. So those are I didn't want to hold you long. I just wanted to, point out some things for your year end, because I want you to be on track and be ready for 2023, because guess what? I'm coming for 2023. I always come for these years. I come for them, and I come for them hard. Okay. That's what I do. So what does this year look like for you? What does 2023 look like for you? Put them in the comments. I want to know. Tell me exactly what you think your 2020. I want to know this. This is something that I really want to know. And I want you to finish strong. And I would love to know all those comments down below. So hit me up. And you can follow me on all podcast platforms. And this is your girl, Shirley Hendricks, and I'll be signing off. And I hope you guys have a very happy new year and a very blessed new year. And I will be seeing you soon. Good night, guys. Thanks, superstars. Bye.